In this module, we are just going to learn about the topic called file handling. So here we are going to apply the concept of pointers, and we are going to access different files because files are going to be stored in the memory, right? So when you want to interact with memory, definitely you need pointers. So what is meant by file? So we are storing the data in the form of a file in a computer, and so we can say that file is a collection of data that's stored on secondary memory, like okay, so change the spelling. It's a hard disk of the computer, right? So you can store the data in anywhere, like any other hard disk or some in this computer itself, or in any secondary devices. So here every computers will store the file in two formats. C programming language support two type of file format of storing the data. One is text file or ASCII file, and another one is binary file format. What is meant by text or ASCII file? So this file contains ASCII codes of data like digits, alphabets, and symbols. So collection of these data will be present in the form of a text file. So that is called a text file format of data. And what is binary file format? So it contains only zeros and ones, that is called a binary file format. So this binary files are compiled version of a text file. When text file is compiled, this binary file is created. So these are the two formats through which any data can be stored in the computer. So what are the different file operations that you can perform with the help of a C programming language? So you can create or open a file, and you can perform reading, writing, and closing. So these are the basic operations you can perform or you can work with files. First, one by one step, we are going to see how to create a file and then how to open a file. So the step one for creating a file is, as I have told in the beginning of the chapter itself, here we are going to use the concept of file pointer. So if you want to create a file, so you have to create a file object, and for this you have to create a pointer. So this pointer we have labeled as f underscore ptr. It is normal user defined variable only. So file followed by pointer. So this is the basic syntax for creating a file pointer. And the second step is for opening the file. So how to open the file? So there is a function called fopen. With the help of this function, you can able to open a particular file. For example, if the data is available in the format of a text, inside the text file, some numeric data as well as some alphabets and some symbols are presented over there. So you want to work with such kind of text file, okay, mention its path and followed by which mode you want to work with the file, whether you want to perform only write or read. So there are different modes are there. We are going to see it in the next slide. So the step is, for first step is you have to create a file pointer for this file object, and then you have to open that file with the help of fopen function. And it takes two arguments. The first argument is the file name. The second argument is in which mode you want to open it. And there are different modes through which you can work with the file. If you want to read only, so you have to use R. The second argument is supposed to be R. If the second argument is W, then you can perform a writing operation. Change the word. Okay, so it is a writing operation. If it is A, you can perform append. That is, both are performed. So read as well as, and you can move to the center or some left or right. Somewhere already existing data. Along with that, you want to add some data. Then with the help of A, mode A, you can change for the file. This is how you can give different permission to the file. And R plus means, okay, it is available in both reading and writing mode. And W plus means the text file is in both reading and writing mode. Also the cursor will be at the beginning of the file. So that is W plus. And A plus means reading and writing mode, and the reading operation will be performed from beginning and the writing operation will be performed at the end of the file. So if you want which mode based on your your problem statement, you can choose which mode this file operation is supposed to be performed. You just select the second parameter based on this particular table, R or W or A or plus W plus A plus. So what are the next step is we can perform reading operation from a file. That means already the file contains some content and you want to read. So how you can perform this? With the help of some of the built-in functions available in C. So here in this topic, mainly we should remember, if you want to perform reading operation from a file, these are the basic functions you have to remember. Each function having its own purpose. For example, here it is given like get C, get W, fscanf, fgets and fread. So these are the functions you can use it. Each functions having its different characteristics. With the help of it, you can perform a read operation with the file. For example, get C, when you consider, it read the character from the specified file. When you open it is in read mode. So this is the basic one. One by one function, how you can apply for each function. I am going to explain different programs for it. For example, if you want to use getC in your program, with the help of it, okay, you can able to read only a single character. Just look at the output screen. So here there is a file, okay, so the main program we are going to write it, and the text file is available here inside the same compiler itself. I have opened different tabs and it's available. There are two files, separate file. One is C file with the extension, another one is text file. Here I have stored one particular data that is called hello, and with the help of getC, I can able to get only the first character alone. So if you want to read only one character at a time, if you just put it in a loop, then more than one character which are present in the particular uh, each iteration, one character will be fetched and you can get it. So here, how you can use this getC function? With the help of it, you can extract only one character, the first character from the file. How you can perform it? First step is you have to create a file pointer. File. Keep the file object in capital letter and then create a file pointer. Then here we are going to fetch the particular character, right? So with the help of this with the help of this ch, there is no use, that it's not needed. Okay, so straight away you can go for the file pointer and then open that file in read mode and then read. Okay, with the help of getC of the syntax is you have to pass the file pointer which points this particular file, right? So with the help of this file pointer only you can, because for example in this program there are many files, multiple files are opened, so you have to create different file pointers, fb1 2 3 like that. So each file pointer is pointing out. So now you have to tell from which file pointer through which you want to access a particular file. So that is why it takes the argument as a file pointer. So when you give it text, it just point out this particular file and extract only one character. So that's the use of getC. The next function is called getW. It also takes the argument as file pointer. So what is the speciality or the characteristics of this getW? So this function read an integer value from the specified file which is opened in reading mode. So I hope you understood that you can able to read some integer value if you want to work with some numeric data which is available in the text file, but it will be converted into ASCII file format and it is stored. For example, here 65 and 97, which intimate that okay, small a and capital A. So these are the two data we are going to put it inside this file and we are going to read it back. So how you can perform with the help of this getW function? So file pointer you have to create and tell the file which is supposed to be available in write mode, because we have to write these two data. So there is a function, just suppose it to getW, okay, put W function. It takes two arguments. The first argument is the data, the second argument is the function. So any calculations or any numerical manipulation when you do and want to write the data back to the particular file, then you can choose this putW function. So it takes the first argument as an integer, the second argument is the file pointer. Once it is done, close the file pointer. Then once again open the file, it is in read mode, and then start reading and mention its pointer, okay, FP. So it can be stored in an integer variable. So you should know how many values are inside, and when you put it inside an integer, when you print this integer, okay, you can. So here we just done the summation part. So that's why 65 and 97 value of this two characters are fetched, and it is calculated and printed as 162. At the end of every operation, you just free up the memory space of the file pointer just by the help of fclose, because the same file pointer you want to use it for some other operation or pointing out some other file, then you have to close and then you can reuse the same file pointer again. So this is how with the help of getw you can read, and with the help of putw you can write an integer value. The next function is called fscanf. It takes three arguments. Okay, so the first one is the file pointer, the second one is the specifier. The specifier in the sense if it is an integer percentage d like that. Okay, so specifier, and then next one is the variable name, that is followed by an ampersand symbol. Okay, so what is the use of fscanf? It can able to read multiple data type value. For example, the file contains text as well as numerical data. So if you want to fetch one by one, just in between that space you want to extract based on that. Okay, the next character you want to identify and you want to fetch. Each one is treated as a string. So you just read it with the help of multiple data type with the help of this fscanf function. So look at this program. This file contains 2, 3, 4 words. So we are just going to which contain 3 text format, right? So we have to create an array of characters that is stored as string 1, string 2, string 3, and if it is an integer value, this is going to be stored in the next integer variable. So file pointer, both from the beginning the cursor you want to read or you want to perform writing operation, then you have to make it as w plus. So here comes, okay, so that we are just going to write first of all the entire string. So with the help of fputs function. So with the help of fputs function, the first argument is it is for writing a group of characters, which is a combination of multiple data types, the integer or combination of string. It's the final format is of string. So first argument is which data you want to write. The second argument is the file pointer. Then you have to, once it is written, the cursor will go to the last. But we want to bring the cursor to the front for reading. So for that, there is a function called rewind of file pointer, which moves the cursor to the beginning of the file. And then you start reading part. So with the help of fscanf, the first argument is the file pointer. The second argument is how many different combination of data types are there, its corresponding specifier. And then mention the variable names. And then, okay, if you just mention, okay, the address of this particular numerical data. Now, when you start printing this variable, you can able to see, okay, one by one data, the value is supposed to be fetched and printed back. So these are the steps you have to follow. With the help of fscanf, just you are performing reading as per this file format. You have to pass the data. And fputs here it is for writing a string, and this fscanf is for reading back this particular content, which is combination of multiple data types. Fgets function. So fgets function, what it will do, it read a set of characters from a file which is open in reading mode starting from the current cursor position. So fopen function, we are reading, we are just keeping it in a reading mode. Previous one, write plus. We're writing and then the cursor will be at the end. So we are bringing the cursor to the front and then we start reading with the help of fscanf function. So in this function, we are just performing the reading. So already there is a text which is available. So because we doesn't know how many strings are there, how many integers are there. So if you doesn't know and you don't have idea about the content of the text or which data format it is stored, splitting of data which is available inside the particular file, if you doesn't know, then you can go for this fgets function. So what are the arguments it will take? The first one is the variable name. The second one is number of characters and then the file pointer. As per the syntax, we are just going to write. Okay. First of all, we should check whether the file is empty or not. So that is why fgets Okay, start from, okay, we should store at last the final result in a string. So that is why we are just making it as 60 maximum character you just mentioned, and 60 characters you want to read from this file pointer. So you just check it'll just check, okay, do we have 60 characters or less than that, or okay, empty. If it is not null, then only it will come back and it will puts normal gets and puts function we have studied for printing this string. So fgets will read, we have used in our normal program gets and puts. But when you use fgets, it reads, and puts, when you put, it will print it on the screen. Okay, so it's read and it is printed. Even more character with multiple spaces are there. All the data will be read, but you have to increase the size of the array. That is the specialty of fgets function. So the next function is, so far we have learned about reading operation, how to read, and little functions on how to perform writing operations also. Some of the left out functions in writing operations, those functions we are going to learn. So put C, put W of print of, and F puts, F write. So these are the functions also supports for performing write operation. All these are predefined functions for file handling operations. So put C, single character you want to send it back to the to that particular text file. So put C of particular character, comma, the function pointer. Another function also, the character is stored statically. Okay, so if you want to make it dynamic, you can read and you can dynamically read. And for example, one single character, whether the gender is male or female. So at the time, if you read the data is male or female, then with the help of putc, you can send back this data to the file with the help of this putc function. It takes two arguments. The first one is character, that is which input you want to send, and the second one is the file pointer. So here variable name you can mention, or otherwise straight away the value you can put. So that's the use of putc function. Then the next function is called putw function. It takes two arguments. First one is an integer value, then the next one is the file pointer. Already we have learned this putw function. It takes integer and sent to the particular file. But when it is sent back, okay, it is written in the stored in the format of ASCII value. So the corresponding ASCII value of 65 is capital A and 66 is capital B. So that is why it is stored. But when you read, it will be an integer value back. Okay, so this is how put W with the help of it. Integer you can store. In the previous one, we have stored the characters, right? So here it is for integer. The next one is fprintf function. So fprintf function takes two arguments. The first one is the file pointer, second one is the text. So it writes multiple lines of text and mix it. So far we have learned one single text, one single integer or numerical value. Multiple combination of inputs you want to send, okay, and one by one. So how it is possible? So keep the file in write mode and then start. For example, it takes first argument is the file pointer. The second one is string. And okay, and in case you want to include some numerical data, comma, after this, okay, you can give. When you give, it inserts the second data. For example, this is line number 1. After that, you want to bring a line next line, okay, slash n. So the slash n, like that you can give. And so this is how this data is written. And one more data also you want to, so straight away you can type 10, or otherwise you can mention its specifier and then mention its corresponding variable name. So this is how dynamically you can fetch some data and you want to mix it in between and you want to send it back to the file. So that is possible. Any form of a data you want to send, characters or a string or an integer, multiple lines of text, inserting a line also, that is possible. After this also something you want to print it on the particular file, so that is also you can store it in a file pointer. Okay, so so this is a character or a character pointer and a char pointer, and which contains this particular text, that also you can write with the help of fprintf function. So that's the use of fprintf function. The next function is called as fputs. So fputs which just inserts string of data which is in write mode. So any string you want to print it, okay, the first argument is the string, the second one is followed by the file pointer. Then the next one is fwrite. So fwrite function also, it writes a specified number of characters into a binary file which is open in writing mode. But look at this program. In this program we want to write welcome to C language, but you want to take a few characters and you want to write it here only 5 characters alone. At the same time, when you perform writing operation, this is same text you want to store. Instead, no conversion. So you have to go with fwrite function and mention its, okay, the first one is the data available in which particular text. So make it as char star pointer, then when you have given, that is possible. Otherwise you have to make it as a string and you have to store. But this is another way. In a char pointer which is of type character, so you can store a group of characters. The second one is size of this character all automatically being fetched, and only 5 characters alone you want to write, so that one you have to mention as next argument. The next last argument is the file pointer. So each and every function you should know its purpose and you should know its syntax, then you can apply wherever there is it's needed based on your need. Finally, closing file, fcloser function. This is very important, and when you close the method, it just return a success message, 0. Otherwise, it returns end of file. That means once it is performed completely, okay. Otherwise, it returns EOF. So if we can check the pointer which is available at the last also. We can move the file to the last and we want to close it, free up the memory space with the help of closing the file with the help of this concept. The next one is cursor positioning function. Sometimes we want to move your cursor to somewhere and you want to do insertion, addition, deletion, or any updation, modification. All those things are possible. How you're performing are working with the database in storing the data and doing some manipulations with the help of queries. Same thing is possible running small script here. So these 3 functions will help you when to perform or move the cursor to certain position and when you want to perform functions or certain operations. Ftell, rewind, and fseek. What's the purpose of these 3 functions? We can look at. For example, ftell, from the name itself, it will tell you where is your cursor position is. At present, you want to know, because sometimes you want to move the cursor to the front, you want to move the cursor to the end of the file, or you want to move the cursor to certain position, certain index position, right? So here, this will return the cursor position. So look at this program. For example, ftell of fp, just the file pointer if you pass, it returns the integer value. So the type of its result is being an integer, and when you print it, you can know its position. Suppose there is another function called fseek. It just move the cursor to a particular location where you mention. For example, in the file pointer, you just move to the position 5 from 0. So when you have given and if it is in 0 position, first you move to 5. So when you print ftell, at the time it says that the cursor was in position fseek, which moves the cursor to the corresponding position that you have given. So 5, position 5, it will go and it will print. So that is the use of ftell function. The next function is called rewind. Rewind, it's very simple. It's just resetting the cursor position always to the beginning of the file. Wherever it is, fseek is moving to 5. But rewind says that when you call rewind, cursor automatically goes to position 1, 0, and that is why when you print at that time, it is saying that the cursor was at position 0. The next fseek already we have from the beginning of the file. That means it returns 0 from, okay, so if you have mentioned 5 comma 0 means, okay, from the beginning of the file move to this location. From current cursor position then move to 5 means the second argument 5 comma 1, and from ending of the file you are just moving to certain position 5 comma 2 you have given, like from position 5 onwards you want to say. So that is the use of fseek function. So see here, this is the program text which is available inside this particular file. and there is a file, and write function is performed. Fseek of seek set 0 comma seek set. Seek set means okay, just find out okay, beginning of the file or not. It just find out. And if it is the beginning of the file, okay, so it's just start. Then you can just start. It just kind of a reset. So you're just moving the file to the beginning position. 0 comma seek set. When you have given, automatically it will go to the beginning of the file. So then you can start reading and you can print it with the help of a string array. You can read, store, and then when you print it, and finally you can close it with the help of fseek. Fseek is very, very important. Always it finds out the position, whether you want to move it to the front or from the end or from in middle, move to certain position with the help of fseek. So that's all about file operations.